You know that specific weight in your throat, don't you? It is not quite a sob, and it is certainly not a scream. It is the heavy, suffocating mass of all the words you have swallowed over the years to keep the peace. You tell yourself it is kindness, that you are just being easygoing or accommodating, but deep down, in that dark, quiet corner of your psyche that you rarely visit, you know the truth, you are terrified. You are not keeping the peace, you are purchasing a temporary, artificial safety with the currency of your own soul. Every time you nod when you want to scream no, every time you smile while your internal world is burning down, you are abandoning yourself. It is a slow, methodical erasure. You have become a ghost in your own life, haunting the hallways of your relationships, desperate for a validation that can never be truly yours because it is based on a lie. You are addicted to the nod, that reflex that shields you from the terrifying, phantom possibility of abandonment. But the irony, the cruel, bitter irony, is that in your desperate attempt to stay close to others, you have drifted so far from yourself that you are now completely unrecognizable in the mirror. Observe your reflection on a Tuesday evening. The house is quiet, perhaps too quiet, the kind of silence that rings in your ears like a persistent fever. You have spent the entire day acting out the script of the agreeable one. You held your tongue when a colleague took credit for your insight. You ignored the sharp sting of a partner's dismissal because you were too afraid to voice the discomfort blooming in your chest. Why? Because the mere thought of conflict feels like a precursor to exile. You have convinced yourself that if you stop nodding, if you stop being the anchor that holds everything steady, you will be cast adrift. It is a childhood ghost, really, a lingering, archaic fear that if you are not good, if you are not compliant, the doors will lock, the lights will dim, and you will be left entirely alone. So, you curate this mask. You are the listener, the fixer, the one who never demands, the one who always understands. But who listens to you? Who fixes the fractures running deep through your foundation? No one, because you never show them the cracks. You have polished the surface until it is blinding, hiding the rot beneath. There is a strange, cold comfort in this self-betrayal. You wake up, you put on the armor of pleasantness, and you walk out into the world. You navigate conversations like a minesweeper, carefully avoiding the trigger points of disagreement. Every interaction is a delicate dance where you are always the one pulling back, always the one shortening your stride to match someone else's pace. You feel the exhaustion, a bone-deep lethargy that no amount of sleep can touch. It is the exhaustion of performance. When you are alone, you analyze every exchange, looping the footage in your mind like a prisoner examining the bars of their cell. Did I sound too defensive? Did they look annoyed? Was I agreeable enough today? Your inner monologue is a relentless prosecutor, cross-examining you on your own humanity. You overthink until the logic collapses, yet you never change the behavior. You are locked in a prison of your own design, where the warden is the part of you that believes your needs are a burden, and the prisoner is the part of you that is starving for permission to exist in your own skin. You look at others, people who move through the world with such careless, beautiful autonomy, and you feel a flicker of envy that quickly curdles into shame. How do they say no without shattering? How do they disagree and still expect to be loved? You believe that love is a transaction, a fragile exchange that must be earned through constant self-sacrifice. You believe that your value is tied to your usefulness, to your lack of friction. If you were ever truly honest, you think, the people around you would recoil. They would see the messy, angry, needy person you are beneath the mask and leave. This is the ultimate, paralyzing fear that keeps your lips pressed shut. It is the fear that you are inherently unlovable, and that your only chance at staying connected is to remain a muted, compliant shadow. So you keep nodding. You watch your identity dissolve into the needs of others, like sugar in boiling water, disappearing until only the sweetness remains, a cloying, hollow imitation of companionship. You are sacrificing your dignity for the scraps of belonging. The chaos of your internal world is starkly contrasted by the stillness of your exterior. To the outside world, you are the rock, the serene one, the person who never loses their temper. But internally, you are a storm that has nowhere to land. The anger you are not allowed to express does not disappear, it curdles. It turns inward. It manifests as a dull ache in your stomach, a tightness in your jaw, a persistent feeling of being untethered from reality. You are physically present, yet emotionally absent, drifting through your own life like a ghost haunting its own grave. You have become so adept at ignoring your own boundaries that you no longer even know where they are. You have walked across every line you ever drew for yourself, just to ensure you didn't inconvenience anyone else. And yet, the irony remains, the more you give, the emptier you feel. The more you surrender, the more you long for the rebellion you are too terrified to start. You are trapped in a feedback loop of your own making, where the safety you crave is the very thing that is killing your spirit. Perhaps the most terrifying realization is that you have forgotten how to be angry. Anger is a boundary, it is the soul's way of saying this far, and no further. By denying your anger, you have effectively dismantled the fence around your heart. You are exposed to the elements, to the whims and demands of everyone you encounter, and you have no mechanism to protect yourself because you have labeled your own self-preservation as a betrayal of others. You are not protecting your relationships, you are suffocating them under the weight of an unsustainable performance. You are not being kind, you are being dishonest. And the hardest truth of all is that the people you are so desperate to hold on to, those for whom you are sacrificing your very essence, are not actually in a relationship with you. They are in a relationship with the mask you wear, with the version of you that never disagrees, the version of you that is perpetually available. The real you, with your needs, your boundaries, and your capacity for righteous fire, is a stranger to them. And in your darkest moments, you realize that you are a stranger to yourself as well. Everything I lost was to keep you near. Everything I kept is why I am alone.